Regular viewers will know that on this channel we do gaming stuff, but we don't just do gaming stuff, we do other things as well. And this is going to be the first of a few videos which are going to be breaking from the norm. So if you tune in for the usual video game stuff, I'm afraid you're going to be a little bit disappointed because there's going to be no gaming related content. Today we're going to take a look through another aspect of, well, collection, I suppose, really best way to describe it. I have a series called Why I Love, which I focus on a couple of things per video, short videos for me, just highlighting some things that I've collected over the years, which I think may be of interest to people. It also gives you more of an insight into the sort of warped, twisted mind that I have. So this video today and a couple of follow-up videos will focus more primarily on a different aspect of the collection, something that is I sort of share with my better half, Mrs. Bear. And what you're going to see today predominantly, and indeed in these other couple of videos that I'm going to do at some point, is mostly stuff to do that that she's collected or has had more of a collection than I do, I suppose. And this is very much going to be focusing on films and TV stuff. Mostly films, I think. And this is Mrs. Bear's and Mr. Bear's, or our, Blu Ray collection. These are standard Blu Ray releases that we got here. Got some box sets in between here. What I am going to do a follow up though on this, and that is when I'm going to be focusing on a real sort of niche area, which is going to be 3D films. So we'll look at that in another video, and that certainly will span possibly a couple. But we're going to go through these today. These are just ones that we've picked up over the years. Some of them I will be able to tell you about because I've bought some of these, or I've seen some of these. Some of them I won't be able to tell you anything about whatsoever, which is going to be interesting. But I thought, you know, I thought I'd share this with you so you can get an idea. I'm still very much steeped in the past, being the retro bear, and the fact that I still like, I still have a lot of VHS, and I still have a lot of DVD. DVD was a format I got right behind when it came out. Was right there at more or less the very beginning. Got a pretty early player, and when we bought PlayStation 3, what really swung it for us over Xbox 360. I did say with no gaming content, but technically that's not true, is it? But what swung it for the PlayStation 3 was the fact it came with a built-in 3D player. Now, built-in Blu Ray player, and it was 3D compatible. Let's not forget that at the same time. And that what swung it over the Xbox 360, which had thrown its weight behind HD DVD, which pretty much was a dead duck as soon as most of the major film studios threw their weight in Sony's camp, and that was it. I still like a HD DVD player for the Xbox 360, but the discs are very, very unreliable. A lot of them suffer from the old disc rot problem. So it really was a deal breaker for us to do that. We were very much into films. In fact, years and years ago, I was an absolute film nut. And when I met Mrs. Bear, she used to spend lots of time watching films. In fact, in those days, you could buy a film off Sky box office. I don't know if that still exists anymore. It's been ages since we've had Sky film package. So we spend a lot of time watching. In fact, now when I'm filming this, she's actually watching the latest James Bond film. And last night when I was doing a live stream, she was watching the Solo film, the Star Wars part of the Star Wars universe. So when she can, she'll watch a film, and we watched a couple together this week while I've been off work. So it's very much a big passion. I think probably I'm less interested in films now than I probably ever have been before, but that's not because I've fallen out of love with them. I still would happily sit down and watch a good film, but I don't get so much into them now. I just find it's just something else that's there that I can watch, but you know, I'm not overly fussed about it. I'm not. Whereas before, when I was younger, from about the age of 13, 14, we were at the cinema every weekend, and I was always reading film magazines and about you know, current releases or old films that I'd never seen before and things that I'd like to see. So this gives you an idea of roughly where we are with that. So, like I said, let's crack on with this because there's a fair bit to get through, and I want to try and get this done in one video, and then focus on the 3D stuff, the other one. So this is going to be a mixture of films, box sets, and possibly even some TV stuff in here as well as part of that. I'll try and remember where some of this has come from. My recall isn't brilliant, and if I can't remember what a film's about, even know what a film's about, I will just go, I don't know much about it. Some I'll be able to tell you about, some I won't. So I'll start at the top, what we've got here. This is actually a film one. This was given to us, again, by a friend of ours. And this one's definitely one of mine, I know that. This is the Family Guy It's a Trap Blu Ray release. And this is the limited edition one, which comes with, I can't even read that, T-shirts, collector's cards and script. And it's never been opened. I've shown Family Guy off, I mentioned Family Guy in my cartoon collection release. There's a shot of the back there as well. I used to be a big fan of this, and they did 3 very special episodes based around the Star Wars original trilogy. So this is the first one, I believe. And yeah, I've seen it. I have seen it. I just haven't opened it up. But anyway, and in fact, this is the second one. It's a Trap. It's a Trap. Is that the no, final chapter of the funniest trilogy in the galaxy? There we go. That's the last one. I thought it was oh, well, anyway, it's that one there. So yeah, I've not even opened that one, but yeah, I've seen all those. They're quite good. Right, what's next? We've got the X-Men quadrilogy. These are the original X-Men films that came out in the late 1990s, I believe, start of the 2000s. So we've got X-Men 1, X-Men 2, X-Men The Last Stand, and we've also got the X-Men Origins film, which is the one based around Wolverine. Starred our good friend Hugh Jackman on the back there. I loved the X-Men films when they first came out. I really did enjoy those. You see, it's got all 4 films in this little set. I even like the rubbish ones, which were probably the third one, which seemed to be a bit of a mess, and had Vinnie Jones in it for some reason. But yeah, I mean, when I first saw the first one in the cinema, I thought it was absolutely brilliant. In fact, I think I've seen all 3 of those in the cinema. I was not very keen on Origins, though. I really didn't like that at all. If you're after a good computer game, there's no gaming chat in this video, remember, but there's a really good... the X-Men Origins game, Wolverine game, is not a bad game at all to play if you want to try and track that one down and find it. This one I bought from Mrs. Bear because she's a massive fan of this franchise. She loves both of these films. So what we got here, we've got... this is Tron and Tron Legacy. So Tron, the original film back from 1982, I think it was. And then there was the sort of reboot, re-story, which they did again a few years ago. And again, Mrs. Bear, big fan of those. So a little collector's set with those 2 films in it. Again, Tron sort of passed me by when I was a kid. It came out probably when I was about 6 or 7 years old. And I wasn't overly keen. And I remember watching it, and I don't know, it just didn't seem to strike the same chord with me that perhaps it did with her. I don't know, but she really loved it. I was like, yeah, it's all right. It's not nothing great. Now we've got a real mixed bag of films in this anthology. This is the original Batman anthology of films. My last Why I Love, I think, focused on the 1966 Batman. So this is the Tim Burton, and then goes horribly wrong, doesn't it? After that one, we got Joel Schumacher and somebody else involved who's equally bad at making films. Can't remember. Did he do both of them, Schumacher? I can't remember. They were terrible anyway. First one is really good with Michael Keaton as Batman, Jack Nicholson as the Joker. The second one, Batman Returns. Yeah, I don't think it's quite as good as the original one. It's got more. You've got Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, Danny DeVito as a Penguin. You've got Christopher Walken in there as well. It's all right, and then it starts to go a bit funny. You've got Val Kilmer's turn as Batman in Batman Forever, Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey. Yeah, Jim Carrey's not my favourite actor in the world. Also introduced Robin, and then of course you got Batman and Robin, which I did see in the cinema. The only one of these, if I saw 3 and 4 in the cinema, 4 was Arnold Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze, George Clooney as Batman, Alicia Silverstone as Batgirl or Batwoman or whatever. Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy, just a complete mess. Jesse Ventura with a special cameo as well, for those wrestling fans out there. But yeah, they got worse as they went on, and I kind of wish they were left them where they were. How do I feel about the reboots of it since then, the Christopher Nolan films? Batman Begins was very good. I wasn't very keen on the ones after that, though, I have to be honest. I saw the new Batman film a couple of weeks back. I didn't like that at all. So I don't know, maybe, I was 14 when Batman came out, that one. I'm 46 now and not overly keen on Batman anymore. I don't know, just I don't know, the first one was great, and then it's sort of the law of diminishing returns after that. This one is definitely not one of mine. Definitely not one of mine. I can happily say this is nothing to do with me because I don't really like these films at all. And this is Harry Potter. This is the years 1 to 6 collection, and a 7-disc Blu Ray. 6 films, 7 discs. yeah, anyway, so this got the first 6. So you've got Stone, Secrets, Azkaban, Goblet, Phoenix, and Prince. There you go. I'm not going to go through and name all the films as I go through and give you the full details, but there we go. So Harry Potter and the first 6 years. I really wanted to like this when it first came out, and I just couldn't get into it. In fact, the only ones I really took an interest in were the last 2, purely because I think everybody was going to die, and there was just some sort of like morbid curiosity with that going on. Those people who love these films think they're great. I just could not get into it. I just cannot abide Harry Potter at all, and you know, just one of those. Mrs. Bear, though, yeah, loves Harry Potter. Happily have all those. I don't think you should go and see any of those at the cinema. I don't know. I know the very first one, Chamber of Secrets, the Philosopher's Stone was the first one. Philosopher's Stone, the first one. I remember we watched a bootleg copy of that, one of the first films we actually watched together, and it was a bootleg VHS. It was terrible copy. But yeah, that's the first time we saw Harry Potter. That's strange, isn't it? Right, what have we got now? We've got 3 great films in this. I'd actually got to be honest with you, not adverse to watching these again. This is the ultimate Bourne collection, which has got the Bourne Identity, Bourne Supremacy, and Bourne Ultimatum. All really, really good films starring Matt Damon as Jason Bourne. There we go. Matt Damon is, it even says in the front there, Matt Damon is Jason Bourne. Yes, of course he is. Again, absolutely love these films. They said at the time that this was reinventing the, sort of James Bond, how James Bond really now should be, and quite clearly. I think you can see the influence in the newer Bond films from this. Really, really great trilogy of films. I've not watched any of the other ones since then, but no real interest. I've played the Bourne game as well, which is a real interesting curiosity on the PlayStation 3. Did it come out on the Xbox? Probably, I think maybe the PlayStation 3 exclusive, I don't know. But yeah, not great, but really nice set. Yeah, these films have been on the TV for years, like the Potter films. They've been played to death on television, but honestly, really, really great. And that Moby soundtrack that plays over the end credits, absolutely brilliant. We've now got, we're going to go to Alien. This is the Alien Anthology. So this will have Aliens, Alien 3, and Alien Resurrection. So the original full films. Again, I think it's a series which gradually gets worse as it goes along. The first 2, obviously, absolute classics. The third one's a bit of a mess. The fourth one, I've only seen sort of the last hour or so. I miss more a Mrs. Bear one, this one, than myself. But yeah, they're all right series of films. Great monster creation as well. Really, really good stuff. Look at that. I mean, that's just the stuff of nightmares, isn't it, on the front there? Nice little box set there, though. I have not really seen Prometheus. I think I've seen bits of it. I haven't even seen the one that came out a couple of years back either. Not really of interest to me. But yeah, so a nice little set, that one there, for all the Alien films in it. I know some people absolutely love that series. Got some of these box sets. This is one of mine. You'll know which ones are mine when I show them. This is my copy of the official Olympic Games London 2012, because it was such a memorable moment. In I absolutely loved the Olympics being in this country, and I really threw my weight behind it. I watched as much as I could do. I remember sitting there being very sad when it all finished, even shed a tear when the Olympic fame went out as the end of London's time hosting it. It was really, really emotional. I felt like a friend of mine went to watch some of it. A couple of friends of mine went to watch it in person. I think I've actually watched it. Which is probably, there's 2 Blu Rays worth of action. Includes the director's cut of the opening ceremony with commentary, all sorts of different things in there. Yeah, there's so many good things, and I've got to get hold of that just as a memento of that particular time in life, because it was very, very. It came after a very difficult time in my life, so for me it's quite important, and I absolutely love it. But I haven't watched much of it. I can't bring myself to watch it because I know it will make me very emotional. But yes, nice to have that. And there's like 15 hours worth of material in there, so yeah, I quite like that one. Another Mrs. Bear one here. We've got. This is the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Now we had these originally on the original DVD releases. Then we upgraded Mrs. Bear to the limited edition with the figurines in it, which we've still got. And then we then upgraded her to the full DVD Blu Ray versions as well. So she's absolutely fascinated about this series. Actually went to see, I think, did you go see all these in the cinema? I think she did. In fact, I think she saw these in the first 2 Hobbit films as well. So she's absolutely fascinated by it. But yeah, these are the extended Blu Ray editions as well. And, you know, these things come out and they add a few more to it and whatever. Nice little set, that one. A little bit of damage on the bottom, which I've just found out this morning, which is a bit of a shame, but I've managed to tidy that up nicely. But yeah, again, I didn't see these at the time, but I did sit down and watch them on television when they came on for the first time. I can't say they changed my life as they have probably done for some people, but that's how it is sometimes with films, isn't it? Some people get them, some people don't. I just didn't get them. This is one that Mrs. Bear bought for me, which is a fantastic gift, and again, some of my absolute favourite films. This is the Clint Eastwood Dirty Harry collection. And what a fantastic series of films. The first film, incidentally, is one of the great films of all time. Just one of those great 1970s gritty police drama thriller things. And again, like most of these films, as you go through the series, they tend to get worse and worse and worse. I like the 70s ones because I like films like that. So the first 3, Dirty Harry, Magnum Force Enforcer. Sudden Impact was made a few years after in the early 80s, and then right at the very end of the 80s, 88 I think it was, made the Deadpool, which also got Jim Carrey in it. That's a worrying thing, isn't it? But yeah, I just absolutely love this series of films, and Clint Eastwood himself is a fantastic actor. I think probably again with these sets, 3 out of 5 of the films are really, really good. The other 2 are okay. They're not bad. Don't feel like Dirty Harry films, particularly the 5th one anyway. But yeah, just great series. What a great little set that is as well. And the print on Dirty Harry is fantastic. It's a really good restoration job on it. So lots of extras as well, and special features and documentaries, and just what you want really. Yeah, absolutely fascinating. So great series of films to have. And our final box set, not our final box set, I've still got 2 more to go. We've got the original Matrix trilogy. There we go. Pretty much had this as soon as it came out. Again, not my thing. I tried watching the first one, I just couldn't get into it. Really can't. So this is very much a Mrs. Bear part collection. There's the back of the box there, nicely. Nice design on it. I just can't get into the Matrix. I'm not saying they're bad films, I just can't get into them, just don't understand them. She's watched the new one, she wasn't overly jumping for joy at it. Again, it's one of these, we had the original DVD release, which came on about 9 discs, so this is the upgrade on that one, really just make it a bit better, but most people know what the Matrix is. I just, not my thing, I'm afraid. We've got a special edition here. And this is one of Mrs. Bear's favourite films. She does like her sci-fi. So we have got here the 30th anniversary Ultimate Edition. So this is quite an old one, I guess. Probably about 2007, probably 2007. So this is Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and this has got. I'll just show you the back of the box. Okay, nothing really special about it, but yeah, this comes with a little book, which is actually just full of pictures and little casting notes and people in it and whatever. So I'll just show you that very quickly. I don't think we've actually ever looked through the Richard Dreyfuss there, and of course there's the actual slipcase for the Blu Ray itself. And again, there's a nice little booklet in there, so it's a nice little set, that one. But yeah, one of Mrs. Bear's favourite films of all time. Not one of mine. I just found it a bit, compared to something like Star Wars, I prefer action sci-fi as opposed to thinky sci-fi. I know there's action. It only blew people away when this came out. One of the great Spielberg films. And sticking with Spielberg films, we'll just show you this. I mean, everybody's probably got a copy of at least this or somewhere or other. It is the Jurassic Park Ultimate Trilogy. Again, seen all these. You see these films multiple times over the years. I don't know which version of the trilogy this is, but I mean, there's so many different versions of this out there now. Saw that in the cinema when it first came out. It hasn't actually even been open. I think it was a gift actually one year. Saw that in the cinema when it first came out. Saw the second one in the cinema. Didn't see the third one in the cinema, but it was one of the first Region 1 Blu Rays, Region 1 DVDs that I owned when I got a DVD player that could do that. So that was always, it's always been there prominently, but you've seen those films. I've seen the last two, the new ones again. I've seen those at home rather than on the big screen. Not particularly interested. The Jurassic World seemed to be a rehash of the first film. The second film seemed to be a rehash of Jurassic World. And apparently there's a new one coming out as well. Yeah, I'm not quite sure about that. The first one's still the original and the best. 30 years old, that film, next year, by the way. 30 years old. Can't believe it, can you? 30 years has passed since that came out. My goodness me. So what we're left now is with a collection of standardy Blu Rays. So we'll go through some of these films. Again, some of these I'll be able to tell you a bit about. Some of them I probably won't. I can tell you about this one. This is Kill Bill with Uma Thurman. This is Kill Bill Volume 1 because you will not find Volume 2 in my collection. Why is that, Mr. Bear? Well, I just don't plain like it. I love this first one. This first one is absolutely fantastic. I'm not going to show you the inside because we know what's in there. I'll show you the front cover and back. I absolutely love this film. I think it's absolutely brilliant. There are so many great bits in this. The obvious bit in the nightclub, which is they do in black and white. There was, I was nearly purchased at one point. I think there was the Hong Kong DVD release, which you could import in through Play USA, which actually had that in colour. They didn't. It was the uncensored version, so that literally would play. Imagine I looked in colour compared to black and white. The music in that film is just brilliant. The knife fight is brilliant. The bit at the end is great. I absolutely love this film. I cannot fault this film. But the second one, did I see this in the cinema? Yes, I did. I went and saw the second one because I couldn't wait for the second one to come out because Tarantino split it into two. I couldn't wait. And then when I got there, and I was like, oh, God, so underwhelmed by it. Really, really was. I think if you a slightly different ending on that film, that would stand alone perfectly. But yeah, I can't bring myself to watch the second one again. I really can't. Let me know what you think. Then we've got. How do we end up this one? This I believe is a film that me and Mrs. Bear once watched when we were probably slightly under the influence because we seem to laugh like a drain at it, which is always a bad sign, isn't it? This is Zack and Miri Make a Porno, starring Seth Rogen and Elizabeth Banks. Does Elizabeth Banks make films anymore? Because you don't seem to see her do an awful lot. It's all got Craig Robinson in it as well. He's a well-known actor. Katie Morgan, Jeff Anderson. But it's one of those. It was ironically produced by the Weinsteins as well, which will give you an idea from where that is. One of the best comedies here. Yeah, I mean, it was very, very funny. We did laugh hysterically. I'm pretty sure it's not quite as funny as when I watch it again, but there are some really good bits in that. And I don't tend to buy films unless they have a interest in that, and I definitely bought that one. I know that for sure because it made me laugh. So there we go. Let's move on to a Mrs. Bear film. This is Cloverfield. Because she does like, again, not like sci-fi, but like monster films like this as well. You'll see a few of these crop up. Again, not really my sort of thing. Remember the hype about this at the time? Really was an awful lot of press interest in this film about how it was done, rather than show you the big picture, sort of show you from the people on the ground's perspective and using lots of shaky hand cam footage as well and other things. But yeah, you do get to see the sort of bits of the monster as well, but from what I remember. But yeah, not my favourite film, but again, she really, really likes that one. This one, I don't know, it's definitely not one of mine. This is the director's cut special edition of Stargate. I'm going to feel it's going to be a Mrs. Bear film, this one. I've never seen Stargate. Again, not something I was particularly interested in. So, yeah, these things have to sort of grab me and say, oh yeah, I'd really like to sit down and watch that. I know it's spawned about 500 different TV series, but also it's got 5 of my least favourite words in the English language at the top, which is a film by Roland Emmerich. Ugh. My God, I hate Roland Emmerich with a passion. I hate anybody called Emmerich, actually. Hate that. Never enjoyed. any of their films ever. Hopefully there's some more in here I can slug off. Now this one, absolutely brilliant fun. If you've never seen this, this will just make you smile and be happy, and there's so many good things in it. This is the film version of Hairspray. This is the remake, not the 1988 version by John Waters. This is the one with Travolta, Michelle Pfeiffer, Crystal Walken, Amanda Bynes, James Marsden and Queen Latifah in it. And it is just an absolute treasure of a film. It's bright, it's colourful, it's vibrant, the music is fantastic, the music is memorable. I do like a good musical. There's no other way to describe it. I do like a good music, especially when the songs are good. If the songs are great, remember, you can tap your toe and sing along to it, and you're singing them afterwards, and you know immediately when you hear something on television years later, I know that is the sort of thing that you want. And honestly, I love I love the really old school musicals. We'll find that out in the future at some point with some of my other DVDs that I have. But yeah, cannot recommend that film highly enough. Most people would have seen that by now. It's a big stage show as well. You can go and see it on the stage if you need to do so. This is one of mine. I bought this ages ago. You can see how much I paid for it as well. Did I pay this much for it? I'm pretty sure I did, actually. This is Daniel Day-Lewis in There Will Be Blood with CX stickers on it. Did I pay 10 quid for that? I don't know, I can't remember. Again, fantastic film. This is the sort of thing that I enjoy. It feels like, I'm not sure whether it is a true story or not, I don't know. But it feels very true to life. I tend to find that films that are inspired by true stories or real events interest me more, because you think, well, I can invest in that. Could that possibly happen? I'm interested to find out more about it. But this is just a tour de force performance from Daniel Day-Lewis. What a fantastic actor he has been over the years. I know I'm not sure whether he's fully retired now or he doesn't do so much acting, but he one of the greats, really is. And I just love, again, this whole turn of the century thing, the grittiness, the realism, the drama, the passion, uncompromising intelligence and searing cinema. This may be a masterpiece. It certainly was a fantastic film, and I have to give that a go again. It's been quite a while since I've seen that, but can thoroughly recommend that. Now, this is another one of mine. One of my all-time favourite comedies. I have this. I still have a VHS recording of this when I was at university in Sheffield, which I recorded late at night on Granada television. Which is the first time I actually saw it back in '96. I've seen it millions of times since then. One of my all-time favourite comedies, and this is Animal House, National Lampoon's Animal House, which quite possibly the best, one of the very first and possibly the best National Lampoon's film ever. It's got the late great John Belushi at the top, and pretty much a cast unknown apart from Kevin Bacon. I'm just trying to think of the other name in there. John Vernon as well. He played the mayor in Dirty Harry. A very well known figure for playing authority type characters. He was very, very good at that. Thomas Hulce is in it as well. Donald Sutherland. Yes, Donald Sutherland, who plays the one of the college professors who smokes a lot of pot. This is just brilliant. Belushi is, not everybody's cup of tea sometimes. Some of the stuff he did was a bit out there. Obviously, died at a very, very young age. But for me, this is just brilliant from start to finish. Absolutely love this film. One of my go-to films if I need a bit of cheering up or I need, just what am I going to watch? You know what? I'll watch Animal House again. Just absolutely fantastic. I had a little jump cut there because my screen froze. I wasn't quite sure if it was still recording or not. Anyway, let's crack on. One of my favourite films. I remember seeing this on video when it first came out. There, we talked about it, and I thought, oh, great. And we didn't see it until we rented it out on video. So I watched this with my parents, and this is Ghostbusters, the original film. Again, just one of those all-time greats. You got special effects which wowed you when you were a kid. You got a cracking lineup with Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Sigourney Weaver, Harold Ramis, Rick Moranis as well. Just absolutely brilliant stuff. One of my all-time favourite films. And this is when it came out on Blu Ray. It's one of the very, very few I actually said, "Oh, I must get that," and pretty much bought it on day of release. That's a really unusual thing. I don't think there's anything in here I can say I bought this on the day of release. But yeah, just a great, great film. Second one's okay. I know some people do like it. I don't think it's bad, the film. And I don't mind the ones they've done afterwards. I don't mind at all the all-female reboot. I know some people actually hate that with a passion. And the recent Ghostbusters film that came out, again, not bad at all. Could have been an awful lot worse. So I think apart from the first one, they tend to get told with a bit of a crappy brush. But to be fair, I quite like all four of them. I'm not saying I'm going to run out and buy all four, but I wouldn't. But I know there's another one lurking somewhere. I'll show these two together because they are part of the same sequence, and I appreciate that we could be here for some time yet. We've got The In-Betweeners 1 and 2. I'm just a massive fan of the original TV series. I think, like so many people, I can relate to that show so much growing up there and from how I grew up and how me and my mates were, etc. And certainly a lot of funny stuff in there. Undoubtedly, for the moment, they go into the barn and that dancing sequence across the floor is just the reason for watching this film. It's not everybody's thing, I know, but just one of my favourite ones. I actually watched this when I was suffering from a really bad chest infection and I could barely talk, let alone laugh. I've never smiled so much through a film ever, and as soon as I got better, I had to watch it again and really give it a good laugh. The second one is not so good. Like most sequels, it's not quite where it should be. I've only seen it a couple of times. I've seen that one loads of times. I've not seen that one so much. I might have to watch that one again, or maybe watch both of them back to back. Because I do find myself every now and again just piling through the TV series. It's an easy watch, 20-minute episodes, easy watch. So I think they're great films. Great series. First film really good. Second one, I'll have to rewatch it again. Now, while I do like my old superhero ones, this one really sort of came out the blue. I wasn't quite sure what to expect about this when I got it. We saw it. This is Watchmen. And I just loved it from the start of the film with the Bob Dylan music and the segue into the start of it. I just absolutely love this film. It really is. It's violent. It's graphic. It's everything sort of the cuddly superhero films weren't at the time. Although I've got absolutely no interest in the comics, the graphic novels, just absolutely love this film. I didn't enjoy the recent TV shows. I know some people quite enjoyed that, Mrs. Bear included. Wasn't really my sort of thing. I'd much preferred that. And I think it's a great film. Again, no brainer to pick it up when it came out. Right, what have we got here? Some of these I may whiz through, some of these I may not, depending on what I've got. What have we got here? We've got the spectacular 2-disc set of Casino Royale. Daniel Craig as James Bond. Mrs. Bear is the James Bond fan. She loves these. Like I said, she's watching the new one at the moment. Nice little set, this one, as you can see here. Nice picture of Daniel Craig there for those people who like that sort of thing. And nice fold out. There's a booklet there as well, I believe. Yep, so there's all sorts of nice stuff in that one. I'll try and show you that. There we go. Nice stuff in that one there. Nice to have these every now and again. It's one of the reasons I used to collect the Blu Rays, because you get really, nice box sets and things. And that phrase, box set, is very much used in the wrong way now. I don't like the idea of that. But yes, it's a nice one. They even kept the original slipcover for it as well, you can see. So nicely preserved and looked after. We've already seen this one, so there's a loose copy there of X-Men Last Stand. This may actually be the copy that we got with the PlayStation 3. I'm pretty sure we got 2 Blu-rays or 3 Blu-rays with it when it came. That was one of them. You've already seen that one, so there's no point in seeing that again. Again, one of these films that really surprise you, which you don't think to be very, very funny. Both me and Mrs. Bear thought this was really, really hilarious. It's Bridesmaids. Which has got Melissa McCarthy and she's Kristen Wiig, isn't it? That's it. Yeah, she always turns up in these programs. Maya Rudolph as well. Chris O'Dowd, of course, used to be in the IT crowd. But yeah, I remember laughing really, really out loud at that one. Not seen it since, but it'll be interesting to see. But it's that sort of film. It's just you just know there's stuff in there that's going to make you laugh. A lot of stuff that does. This is a Mrs. Bear pickup, so I can't really tell you an awful lot about this one. And this is U571, the #1 US box office smash. I think this is the one. Is this one with Harrison Ford in? No, that's a Russian one, isn't it? I have no idea where that one's come from. I can't even read the names on the front, it's too low, but I don't know much about that one, so I can't tell you anything about it. Please let me know in the comments below. I'm not even sure why we got this, because we never actually really seen it. I think we watched it. I think we watched it once on the telly or on Sky and thought, oh, it's a really nice film. And then bought the Blu Ray for some reason, and it's just remained in its packet ever since. This is music and lyrics with Hugh Grant and Drew Barrymore. If I remember, it wasn't he a songwriter or something? Well, wham bam, thank you, Duran Duran. Here's a big chuckle fest. Sizzling tween queen diva asks has-been 80s pop sensation to write a song. I think I remember being quite won over by the actual song they perform in the film. I think that's a really nice song, that. But definitely not the sort of thing that I would sit down and watch. It might be a Mrs. B one, that one. Interesting. I don't know. We'll have to see. We've got the original Independence Day. Again, one of Mrs. Bear's favourite films of all time. Not one of my favourite films of all time, because it's got an Emmerich involved. But I remember seeing the trailer for this at the time. I think, wow, this is going to be fantastic. Oh my God, I can't wait to see this film when it comes out. And then, they sort of destroy everything, don't they? They blow up the White House. They lay California to waste, and you think, wow, this is brilliant. And then all of a sudden it just goes horribly down the pan after that. Really didn't like it, and goes horribly cheesy. You know, this is our Independence Day. Oh, yeah, lovely. Great watching the big screen, but as a film as a whole, no, sorry, not impressed at the time. I was really hard to please back then. We'll carry on the Emmerich hatred with Day After Tomorrow, which is an atrociously bad film, but one of Mrs. Bear's favourites. Yeah, just basically every single film he's ever done before, with a slightly different twist, and the fact that we've got extreme weather threatening the Earth, so we've got everything under snow and ice, and this guy has to go, circumnavigate the globe to find his son in one city somewhere. Yeah, whatever. Nice try, Roland. Not buying it. Now, this is one of the new X-Men films, and this is X-Men First Class with James McAvoy on the front there, playing Professor X. I can't remember this one. Why can I not remember this one? Have there been 3 X-Men films, the new ones? There's X-Men First Class, X-Men Apocalypse, and Days of Future Past as well, I think it is. We've got those other 2 elsewhere on other formats. I enjoyed these. Do I think they're as good as the original ones? I think they're about the same level. I think these are probably a bit less cartoony than the original trilogy of X-Men films. It makes me wonder why they had to reboot. You have to reboot the franchise. It's like Batman. Not Batman, it's like Spider-Man. Spider-Man's now on his 3rd different Spider-Man. And if you count the animated Spider-Verse film, that's 4 different Spider-Men. Okay, Batman's been through a few reboots as well. I don't know why they needed to, reboot X-Men. I don't know. I just can't work it out sometimes. I think it's just a way of repackaging something which is exactly the same and just trying to make more money off it. But not adverse to those films. I think they're all right. I really do. In fact, I don't think I've made it through Apocalypse yet without falling asleep. Maybe I watch it. Well, I watch things at certain times of day or night, depending on what sort of day or week I've had. It depends on whether I'm going to make it through wide awake or not. This is The Day the Earth Stood Still. This is the remake, though. This is the one with Keanu Reeves. So again, not something I've seen. It's a Mrs. Bear film. Remember the original one with the alien coming down the ramp out the saucer. Many pictures of that in film magazines over the years, but I can't tell you anything about that because I've never seen it. This is the mind-bending edition of Schwarzenegger's Total Recall. We all love a bit of Total Recall. Not very keen on the reboot at all, with Colin Farrell of all people. Don't know why he's still making films, to be honest with you. But yeah, so this is for that very early. This is sort of the latest. Schwarzenegger started his career making those violent action films, and he's got slightly more less violent and a bit more cuddly through the early 90s. We started doing comedy, with Twins and Junior and Kindergarten Cop, and this is in going back to where people remember him making sort of those violent, this futuristic sci-fi. He's teamed up here with Paul Verhoeven, I think it is, the film director. He made RoboCop and Showgirls for some reason. But yeah, can't go wrong with Total Recall. Play the game. Play the video game. It's a tricky on the 8-bit systems. Don't play it on the NES. For God's sake, whatever you do. Got a copy of Prometheus there. I'm not sure why. I think it was, somebody gave us a copy of that. A friend did. Like I said, I've not seen it, so it's going to fall in that Alien Trilogy one. Oh God, this is sorry, this isn't one of mine. This is Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves in the lake house. I did watch a Sandra Bullock film the other day, actually, The Lost City, where she's in it with Channing Tatum and Daniel Radcliffe. Not terrible. Not terrible. She's not looking bad for 50, whatever she is now. This is some sort of romantic slush. Why do I need to put it on Blu Ray? I don't know. This is, again, I think Jodie Foster, the Brave one. I think, again, this is something we watched and we saw him on Blu Ray, picked up cheap. This is about, I think this. Yeah, she watched her fiance die and nearly lost her own life in a vicious random attack. That's it. So it's like a woman going on a rampage. It's sort of like a death wish for the feminist generation. That'll lose me some viewers, I'm sure. An exhilarating and superbly crafted thriller. It's not actually a bad film. Not actually a bad film. Interesting to see Jodie Foster do something like that. Doesn't make many films now, but that's it. This is one of the other ones we got free with the PlayStation 3 when we got it, and this is the god-awful Spider-Man 3, which is an absolute mess of a film. It really is. I saw the first one. No, I didn't. This is the only one. Is the only one I've seen in the cinema. I don't think I saw 1 and 2. Or did I see 1 and 2 in the cinema? I don't think I did. I think I saw 1 at home, 2 at home when I had food poisoning, and then this one I did see in the cinema. And me and my friend agreed it was an absolute load of tripe. It is just an absolute mess of a film, it really is. The first 2 in this original Spider-Man trilogy were great. This one isn't. The introduction of Venom. I think you got too many villains in this one. I think you got the Sandman in this one, I think. Is that right? Can't remember the Green Goblin. And yeah, it's not one of my favourites, I've got to be honest. If it's on, I'll watch it, but it's not a great film. We've got Tom Cruise and Morgan Freeman in Oblivion, which I've never seen, so I can't say anything about. Is this when he goes to I might have seen bits of it. I think he goes to a planet or something and ends up living there. Some of these Tom Cruise films tend to... I get this confused with Edge of Tomorrow. That's what it's called, that one, which we've got elsewhere. So I can't tell you anything about that, sorry. I will try. We've got Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 1. So we've got the first 6 in a box set, and then there's the standalone Blu Ray release for the Deathly Hallows Part 1, which is great because they start killing people off in that one. I'm really rooting for the bad guys in this one. But yeah, I do like films like that where you know, if you've got a good guy, you know, Independence Day, for example, I think is great to that point where the aliens are coming in and completely battered the Earth, and you think, wow, God, they're in trouble, and it just all goes, you know, slightly wrong. We'll just give them an infected copy of Windows 3.1, and that'll completely screw their chances of actually taking over the Earth. And it's the same sort of thing. I like it when the heroes are being battered, and there's a real danger that you know, they're actually in peril. And then I watched the second one, and it was all right. It was all right. Not great, but better than I thought it would be. Superman the movie. This is the original one with Christopher Reeve. You Can Believe a Man Can Fly. Always on the telly when I was a kid. Again, Superman films. I'm not overly keen on this one. I love the second film, again because Superman's getting battered in it, so I love that. Third one, we saw a video when it came out. Not a big fan of that at all. Fourth one, I don't think I've ever actually seen all the way through. And then we've obviously had Superman Returns. We've had Superman Man of Steel. Superman Returns was a dreadful film with Kevin Spacey. He's like, oh, horrible film. Superman Man of Steel. And what's that? Batman versus Superman. No. So again, checkered history in the cinema, but I think the first 2, possibly the third one. The third one just lose a little because it's got Richard Pryor in it, and you know, you wouldn't watch Richard Pryor be funny, and he's trying to be funny, but in a Superman film, it's a bit campy. Gene Hackman as well as Lex Luthor in those original four, is it? I think four films he does. I love this film. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Leonardo DiCaprio as the Wolf of Wall Street. It's a Scorsese film as well, which is saying something I do love. A lot of Martin Scorsese's work. This is just absolutely fantastic. It's funny. It's crazy. It's also, again, based on a true story. This is why I like these sort of things. It's true story of New York stockbroker Jordan Belfort. You know, that's why I enjoy these films, because you know that the stuff you watch on screens actually happened. Sometimes it's great to go and suspend belief, but that is just great. I love that. As soon as it came out on Blu Ray, I had to grab hold of it. Absolutely great stuff. Yeah, this is a great film. I really do enjoy this one. This is Les Miserables. This is the Hugh Jackman version. There are actually two versions of this. There's one from about 1998 with Liam Neeson and Uma Thurman in it, I think. I've never seen, and I don't think I ever want to. This I got out of a charity shop. One of Mrs. Bear's favourite films, this one, and one of mine as well. Absolutely love the songs in this. Again, based around true events, sort of, in a way. It's got a great cast. We've got Hugh Jackman, Russell Crowe, Anne Hathaway, Amanda Seyfried, Eddie Redmayne, Helena Bonham Carter, and Ali G. Just really, really well done, memorable, dramatic, fun. You know, it's just one of the great cinematic experiences. You know, you talk about going to the theatre to watch something like that. You watch a musical production, to watch something like that as well on a cinematic experience with the volume turned up and the music going. Oh, it's just brilliant stuff. Really, really good. This is one of mine. You'll guess why. This is the Muppets. This is the rebooted film from about 10 years ago. I'm an absolutely huge Muppet fan. And also a big fan of Amy Adams as well, especially some of her early stuff when she wasn't so well known. But I really like how they did this. They did this properly. If you're going to reboot something, do it well. And they sort of went back to the Muppets' original route. They were famous and they brought them back. And they came back to put a show on, and people playing up the fact that people have forgotten what they were as well. Just sort of toyed with it. So, but it's really good. Less keen on Muppets Most Wanted. And since then, it's not really worked out for the Muppet Revival. I thought he was going to actually do it because when they were big when I was growing up, and it just didn't take off. And now it's very much a bit of a mess. I'm not sure really what the state of the Muppet franchise is. Every time I see a new thing announced, I'm like, getting less and less interested. This is the reboot of Star Trek, which is one of the very last films I've seen in the cinema, I believe. I think I was taken to the cinema to see that. So this is very much a Mrs. Bear thing. This is the rebooted cast. I did 2 films or 3 films, and then they didn't make any more. But I was say Star Trek is not one of my favourite films, I'm afraid. Favourite franchises either. Just not one of my things. Just couldn't get into it compared to Star Wars, which I was much more interested in. But yeah, there we go. What we've got next? Talked about Batman earlier. This is the Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight Rises film. Christian Bale, Michael Caine, Gary Oldman, Anne Hathaway again, Tom Hardy. This one seems to go on for weeks. I mean, I don't just seem to go on and on and on and on. Yeah, it just 164 minutes, which, again, that's something I never used to think about. That I used to revel in the fact that The Godfather's 3 hour long. There's 3 Godfather films. They're all 3 hours long. Fantastic. Apocalypse Now is on television tonight. How long is that? 3 hours. Oh, Deer Hunter's on tonight. 3.25 hours. Great. I used to love that. And sometimes when you watch a film, it doesn't feel like you're watching it for 3 hours. But I tend to look at film runtimes now and go, I can't be bothered to sit through all that for 3 hours. And this one actually seems longer than 164 minutes. No wonder it sort of stopped that franchise reboot Stone Dead. This is the other Blu-ray we got when we first got the PlayStation 3, and this is Bruce Willis in Die Hard 4.0. For me, the Die Hard series probably peaks after the second one. I know some people like the third one. I'm not a huge fan of that at all. Although it has grown on me over the years. I think we watched this for about 15 to 30 minutes and then turned it off. I don't think we even bothered with the fifth one. Again, when the early films, the better ones, the later ones, I find they're just making them for the sake of making them. I Am Legend. Mrs. Bear's a bit of a sort of zombie apocalypse. I say fan, that's probably the wrong word to describe it, but she does watch things like anything basically with zombies, Walking Dead, etc. She's always been very interested in watching those. Yeah, I don't think it's a bad film, this one, to be fair. It's not really, wouldn't be my sort of thing to sit down and watch, but I did quite enjoy that. And Will Smith is not unbearable in it. She's good. Some of the stuff he does is very, very good. Some of the stuff he's just don't quite get him in, but yeah, he's not done too bad for himself, apart from around punching people, but, you know, it's not bad. Oh, this film, I'm not joking, literally gave me a headache after about half an hour. Literally gave me a headache. And this is Inception. And I think Mrs. Bear saw this in the cinema, and she absolutely loved it. This has got the old lenticular cover, you may notice there as well. You may not be able to see that on there very well, but there's the actual inside of the thing. But I'm not joking, I watched this for half an hour, and I had a headache trying to work out what the hell was going on, but also the fact that the buildings kept turning. I was watching it with Claire and her mum, and her mum complained exactly the same thing after half an hour. She had a headache as well. Can't just be us. But Mrs. Bear thinks that's a great film. So, got 4 to go now. This is Super 8. Writer director J.J. Abrams and producer Steven Spielberg, the blockbuster of the year. I don't know much about this, to be honest, so I can't tell you. I've seen it on the background, but I didn't really pay much attention to it. This is one of those I just picked up because I know we watched the original trilogy and we thought they were really good, but it's the only one we actually bothered with, actually, which is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. These are the original Swedish films, I believe. Yes, I don't think these are this isn't the Western, the Hollywood remake anyway. But I remember seeing all those, and they were very good films. Those, I'll have to watch those again sometime. To the show, yeah. We'll finish with that one, and we'll go with this one, which is Tom Cruise in Jack Reacher. Surprisingly, very, very good film, that one. Didn't think it had any chance, and a lot of people didn't think it would do either, but honestly, that is a really good film. TV series, actually, not awful. I think Mrs. Bear watched it recently off Amazon, and I remember sort of sitting there, and a lot of it was on the background. And usually I tend to stop if something attracts my interest, I stop what I'm doing and just sort of put everything away and sit down and watch it. And I actually found myself watching a few of those episodes without actually paying no attention whatsoever to the storyline. And then this was bought as a gift for me, so we'll finish on this one, an absolute film classic, which you should really watch every Christmas. And this is James Stewart in It's a Wonderful Life, about a man who has the weight of the world on his shoulders, and he's about to kill himself until he's shown a life. He's shown what will happen if he did, and what would happen to the other people, and how it would affect them. It's a staple of American television at Christmas, this one. It always pops up as well on various things. It's also got, I barely touched this, to be fair. It's also got some postcards and also a poster as well in there as well. Original film poster, which you can see there. There we go. James Stewart and Donna Reed. But that is the sort of thing that young Mr. Bear would have lapped up years and years ago. And this is the sort of thing that people now give to old Mr. Bear, who goes, "Oh, great, fantastic, I'll watch that," and puts it over there out the way. And that's it. That is the Blu Ray stuff. There's a fair bit of stuff there. I didn't think it'd take as long as that. I knew more about it than I did. Now, as I said, I will be doing another video, a couple of videos probably. I'll break those down into 2 because I didn't think there's quite as many of these here, but there are. But the next one, which I'm going to focus on in this series of Blu-rays, I'm going to focus on 3D films. Now, again, I know it's very, very niche, but we've got quite a lot of those because Mrs. Bear does like a film in 3D. So I'll reveal more when I do that video. If you have enjoyed that slightly different video, a bit of a tangent from the usual stuff, do let me know in the comments below. Any films that you've seen there that I haven't, do let me know. Any films there that you could, you know, think might fit in with perhaps some of the films that we've got here to watch that you can also recommend as well. That would be appreciated. But until that time comes, thank you very much indeed for watching. Appreciate it very much. I will see you again very soon. Yes, don't worry, the gaming stuff will return at some point very, very soon. But it's always nice to do one of these every now and again, just to show other people what I collect and other things I'm interested in. Yeah, so take care, and I'll see you again in front of the camera very soon. Till then, bye for now.